Every screen time app promises to fix your phone addiction.
This little gadget is designed to cure your smartphone addiction.
You could take full control of your life at any moment.
But only if you pay for the premium features.
Get the f*** off of YouTube.
Well, I found 3 completely free methods that worked way better than any paid app I've ever used. I tested 6 different free methods over 2 weeks. I'm going to take you through all 6 so you know exactly what works and what doesn't, and more importantly, how much my screen time actually dropped. First up, only checking my phone at designated times. 9 AM, 1 PM, 6 PM, and 9 PM. Outside of those times, the phone stays untouched. This failed immediately, and here's why. I need my phone for work, I'm in a long distance relationship that relies on phone calls. Frankly, I need to be available. The need to maintain my job performance and relationship outweighed any sort of willpower to stick to these arbitrary checking times. If willpower alone wasn't going to work, maybe I needed to replace the habit with something else entirely. I made a list of screen-free activities I'd actually want to do. Walking, reading, painting, running. The idea was to replace phone time with engaging alternatives. Here's how it went. So I'm about to hopefully revisit one of the old hobbies that I used to do as a kid. You can call me a massive nerd if you want, but Henry Cavill does it, so could be worse. Okay, so I've only done about 45 minutes of painting, but oh my god, it's so relaxing. It takes you away from everything, it makes you quite present because all you can focus on is what you were painting at that point. I've sort of realised I haven't had many experiences like that recently, so I'd found a bit of relaxation, but painting wasn't the only activity that did that. The most obvious one, a good book, genuinely keeps me off my phone the whole time because I would rather be reading the book. I'm reading a really good book now and that has helped me massively. Like, I was sat on a train late last night, could very easily have just sat on my phone the whole way home, but I didn't because reading that book was more worthwhile. And so I found these activities were having a more profound effect than I might have anticipated. And it made the next one all the more important. So I've headed out without my phone into a bit of like a local green space area. As soon as I left the house, it felt like my brain was able to switch off again in a way that it doesn't when it switches off if you're just scrolling on your phone. I'm gonna go exploring. All of these things did make me think really hard about my existing habits and my existing behaviours around screens. I noticed as soon as I came back from work that the first thing I did was sort out my dinner, go upstairs, lie in bed, go on my phone for the 5 minutes that I've given myself on Instagram. And then when I've made my dinner, I sit in front of the telly and start watching YouTube on the telly. And it's so habitual that it took real effort to get myself out, which is such a shame because as something that is free to do, just to leave the house, to leave your phone, it feels like there's so much friction to do it. But despite all of this, I did get out. I was running, I was walking, and it was working. But there's one fundamental flaw with doing these activities as part of this video. They're not free. Books cost money. Running gear adds up. Painting supplies are not cheap. The only one that was anywhere near was walking. And I'm just lucky enough to live walking distance from a decent green space. For that reason, they can't be high in the rankings. If I couldn't easily replace the habit for free, maybe I could make the phone itself less appealing. Strip away the visual appeal of your phone and you remove a key part of the addiction. Full grayscale mode, no colours, just black and white. It started, well, interestingly. Honestly, having this goddamn grayscale on just pisses me off. So honestly, I've just found it a massive inconvenience, but not in a way that's meant I've put my phone down, just in a way that's made me a bit more frustrated when I've been using my phone. But that frustration did start to translate to reduced screen time. Even thinking about going on my phone, I'm like, well, it's just some shitty black and white thing, and so it's not worth it. So surprisingly, throughout the week, these have become better than I thought they'd be. Or at least than I initially reacted to them. So it actually really started to work, but it wasn't without its challenges.
Now to try and do literally anything vaguely useful with my phone while it's on grayscale. Like try and recognise what line is which by the colour. Impossible.
Google Maps was impossible to read. Tube line colours disappeared. Photos looked lifeless. There's actually research backing this up. Bright colours do impact dopamine production. And our phones are deliberately designed with engaging, colourful interfaces to grab our attention. Strip that away and the addictive pull genuinely reduces. And so, however much it pissed me off, this worked. So we were actually starting to make some decent progress. I could see my screen time reducing. But was there anything else that I could do to make it better? Did you know your phone already has screen time controls built in? Of course you do. But I'd been paying for apps for ages when Apple's own tools might work just as well. I set up time limits for the things I struggle with most. 5 minutes for Instagram, 5 minutes for YouTube. I got rid of TikTok, I got rid of Twitter. I then also set up focus modes to make sure that I blocked distracting apps during my work day and when I was trying to go to sleep. This worked better than expected. The key was being ruthless with the limits and using focus modes properly. Although admittedly, having controls that added more friction using paid apps was better. The time limit stuff is good for setting some level of friction up, but it's so easy to break past. So the reality is, as a free option, it's good, but it's not better than the paid apps. I use my phone in bed constantly. Check it every morning. First thing I do, it had become completely ingrained as a habit. Wake up, reach for phone, start scrolling. The solution seemed simple. Remove the phone from the bedroom entirely. It worked a charm. It was easy to remember because I always charge my phone before bed, and if my charger is in the other room, it's an easy reminder that my phone should also be in the other room. But this one was the only phone-free method that actually stuck. Trying this in my office, where there was no obvious reminder to put my phone somewhere else, made it much more difficult to remember. I think it could still work though, you just have to recognise your existing habits. If you always have your phone in the kitchen because you play music there, could you find another way to play music that doesn't need your phone? I feel like it's about identifying the function that your phone plays in each space and then trying to replace it with something that isn't your phone that can equally match that function. So regardless, I really recommend this one, but it's not quite the number one slot. Understanding the habit loop is crucial here. Every habit has a cue, craving, response, and reward. For phone addiction, notifications are the cue a lot of the time. They're the external trigger that starts the entire checking habit. I'd been using a paid screen blocking app on my phone for months, which created friction when I was trying to use my phone already, but the problem was the trigger, the push, was still coming through, which meant I'd keep picking up my phone. Notifications would still ping and trigger that automatic reach. So I went nuclear and turned off everything that wasn't totally essential. This had the biggest impact of any method I tested. Turning off notifications is like a massive immediate win. Like once you get over the FOMO of it all, like just making sure that you're not getting that constant buzz in your pocket all day long means that you're not dragging your attention from one thing to another. Spend the time setting it up and tweaking it based on what you think is right for you, but honestly, turning off push notifications has massively reduced the sort of queue that I'm normally working towards, and so it's really reduced the amount of times that I'm picking up my phone. Remove the queue and the habit loop can't complete itself. It can't even start. No ping means no automatic reach for the phone, no buzz means no broken concentration. What surprised me was how quickly my behaviour did change. After a couple of days, I significantly reduced how frequently I was sort of unconsciously reaching for my phone, and after a week I realised that I was thinking about my phone less frequently because there wasn't a constant buzz coming my way. And so if there's one thing you can take from this video, it should be to turn off your non-essential push notifications. But over the 2-week period, doing all of these things, did it really reduce my screen time? Here's my screen time before these methods, and here it is after. It's a 56% reduction in my screen time. But are they better than paid apps? Well, paid apps have their advantages, better scheduling, more specific controls, and gamification. Let me know in the comments if you want to see me dig into the best value paid apps. because they do have some advantages. But the free methods, they work, and sometimes better than their expensive alternatives.